Hello there and welcome back. This is part 2 of the Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life course. I had to end up doing this course in 2 separate parts because it's such a long, detailed and in-depth course. So it had to be broken down into 2 separate parts. So in the first part, the first half of the course, we covered self-love, self-worth, boundaries, looking at our connections, how to re-find ourselves again and find that part of ourselves that have been missing. In order for us to change our mindset and in order for us to create the life that we desire the most and to be happy and to live a happy and fulfilling life, we need to first do the inner healing work. That is the most important bit. And so that's why the first half of the course, we covered all that self-healing, inner healing work, which really had to be done. There's no ways you can create a healthy mindset that is positive, that's abundant, if you're not feeling in a healthy place, if there's no self-love or no self-worth, or if you don't have good boundaries in place, if you don't know who you are as a person. So in order for you to be able to change your life, to start working on your life, to start changing things for the better, and to have that abundant mindset, we had to first tackle the inner stuff, the nitty-gritty stuff, as I call it, the hard stuff. Because it is quite hard having to delve deep within and deal with all our own inner baggage, our own inner emotions, and do that inner healing work. But this is so important. It really is. Excuse me. So that's what we covered in the first part of the course. Like I mentioned at the end of the first part, we still have a bit more work to do with the nitty-gritty stuff, just a little bit more. That's working with boundaries. We still have a bit more to cover on healthy boundaries, as well as a few more nitty-gritty bits and bobs. But after that, we'll get stuck into the fun stuff of actually creating something really good for our lives. So without further ado, we will jump into this course. So we'll do a bit more on boundaries and a few more nitty-gritties and then fun. So again, have your journal or a piece of paper in front of you and a pen in your hand. And what we're going to do now is to, again, writing everything down. It's very important to write with good old-fashioned pen and paper. Try to identify what triggers your boundaries, what triggers you, and what boundaries are being overstepped. Make a list of all the times that you can recall of when your boundaries were overstepped. Who did it? And what was the trigger? What was the situation? Why did you let it happen and not speak up? Did you feel too guilty saying no or speaking up? If so, then why? Why did you feel this way? Write all these questions down and really take a deep look into each situation. Look at different situations in your life. When your boundaries have been overstepped, or if something triggered you, what triggered you? What triggered your boundaries being overstepped? Really delve deep. Take a good hard look and spend as much time as you can. Try and get to the bottom of what boundary was actually broken and how it was broken. What did you do or not do to prevent this boundary from being broken? How are you going to change this so that it does not happen again? Try learning how to trust your intuition. Take a look at those times when your boundaries were overstepped and disregarded. Take note of how you felt during those times. Did you feel uncomfortable? Did your intuition scream at you to do things differently? Did you ignore your gut instinct? And if so, why? Write this all down. Really spend some time thinking of these things. The more honest you are with yourself, the more time you put into these exercises, the more you're actually helping yourself in the long run. Are you going to trust your intuition more in the future? It's another question to write down. Write all these questions down. What have you learned from doing this exercise? Setting healthy boundaries and stopping people from walking all over you and taking the mick out of you is an important step into taking back your power. Keep telling yourself that you deserve only the best. You deserve nothing less, nothing less. If others don't see your worth, then they really are not worth pursuing. Only surround yourself with healthy connections. Take your power back and start forming healthy relationships and healthy connections. So again, just write down, what are your new boundaries? What will you and what will you not tolerate? What do you deserve? Write this all down. Really delve deep into it. Do the things that make you happy. If you are in a happy place, then you will feel so much better in your life and within yourself. Try to do the things that make you feel free, that make you feel happy and inspired. Do the things that feed your inner spirit and bring joy into your life. If you do things that bore you, that do not make you happy or make you not feel fulfilled, then you will be instantly drawing in negative energy to you. Try to get out more and have fun. Keep your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and your life happy. Enjoy life. Live life to the full. Heal from past hurts and let go. We need to heal from past hurts. Build our self-confidence, deal with issues that we have wiped under the carpet, and just learn to think more positively. All of the above will help you to love and appreciate and accept yourself more, to appreciate who you are as an individual person. So many times in our lives, we allow negative influences and emotions from the past to come back and bite us on the bum. It is true that we do allow this. It is sad, but many times we are actually our own worst enemies. It is time to make a stand and not allow this negativity to stop you from moving forward. Our past is the past and it should be left in the past. We are all guilty of ignoring issues from the past that we have not yet fully healed from. We do this because it may be too painful to face. In order for us to love ourselves more, have a positive mindset, and know our self-worth, in order for us to grow, to heal, and in order for us to be living a life that is abundant, we need to heal, we need to grow and move on from our past. We need to forgive ourselves, others, and situations, and leave the past in the past for good. We need to learn to let go of the past and look forward to the future. We need to learn how to concentrate on the here and the now, instead of draining all of our energy on unresolved issues from our past. We need to deal with them and let them go for good in order to move on and to move forward on a positive footing. The best way to heal from past trauma and issues is to address them, to relive them by remembering them and then allowing yourself to feel the emotions caused by them. And once you've done that, then you can let it go. Write down all the incidences and situations that caused you upset and pain from your past. Go right back to your childhood, to your earliest memory, and lead it right up till present day. Write these down. Write down the impact that they had on your life and on your well-being, on your mental and emotional state. Write down how you felt at the time, what upset you, what happened, and how were you affected? How are you still being affected now because of what happened in the past? This could be quite a painful exercise to do, but feeling the emotions, replaying it in your mind, addressing it, acknowledging them, and then letting them out. It is a form of healing. Bottling up those emotions deep inside, it really is unhealthy, and it's damaging you, it's affecting your future, and it's preventing you from living a life that is healthy, that is happy, that is abundant. Be your true self at all times. Try practicing letting your guard and your masks down. Try and embrace being your true, authentic self. Try and be your true self each day. Forgiveness. We need to learn to forgive others and ourselves in order to heal, grow, and develop a good sense of self-worth. When we hold resentment, anger, and all those negative feelings, we are actually only harboring negative energy. We are hurting ourselves. This negative energy is so strong that it lowers our vibration and makes it impossible for us to love ourselves and create a happy life. All that resentment and anger, it just builds up and builds up over the years, slowly eating away at us, chipping away. We may bury it. We may brush it under the carpet. We may think that we've dealt with it. But at some point, something will come along and it will trigger you. And then you relive it all over again. We need to learn to forgive and move on. Not only forgive ourselves, but to forgive others and to forgive situations that we've been through in our lives. This is how we heal, grow, and build the strength that we need to rebuild our lives, and how we develop that self-love within ourselves. Overcoming fear. Fear is one of the biggest things that hold us back from moving forward, from accomplishing our dreams, our goals, from living a fulfilling life. Fear is so deep. It's a deep emotion that is riddled with negative energy. Fear can stem from many varied sources, but its main source is ego. Our ego conjures up fear to stop us in our tracks and to draw negative energy to us. Fear lowers our vibrations and stops us from fully connecting with our true selves. Fear comes in so many different forms, such as worry, concern, anxiety, overthinking, fear of our lives, fear of others' lives, fear of spirits and the unexplained, fear to do something that needs doing, fear of speaking your mind, fear of having happiness and joy, fear of going to places or growing, fear of others, and so on. We need to nip fear in the butt and remove it as soon as it comes in. Fear is one of the main causes of stopping us from living a happy and fulfilling life. Love and accept the way you look. We are all guilty of having something about ourselves that we do not like. We all have things that bother us and annoy us daily. For me, it's my hair, my legs, and my teeth. It has taken me years and years to accept my teeth, hair, and legs, and to understand that they are a part of who I am. Before, in the past, I used to hate these. I used to look at myself and I dreaded it. I used to put my hand in front of my mouth. I was too embarrassed. And it took a lot of hard work for me to overcome these areas that I don't like about myself. I've had to learn to accept that this is who I am. This is a part of who I am. No one else is complaining. It's just me. It's my own dislikes about myself, and I've healed from them, but it took a lot of work. And one of the things that I found that really helped me to overcome these is each time I thought negatively of my legs, my hair, my teeth, and other things that I just didn't like about myself, I used to tell myself to stop straight away. I'd say, stop it. I'd literally tell myself off. And I'd say, stop it. I am perfect just the way I am. My loved ones love me for how I am. God loves me for how I am. Now I need to love me for how I am. I need to accept that this is the way I am. And so you're giving yourself a pep talk. So this is something you could try yourself. Every time you have a negative feeling about the way you look or anything that you don't like about yourself, give yourself a good telling off and just say, no, stop right there. My loved ones, they love me for who I am. They accept me the way I am. God loves me the way I am. Now I need to love me for the way I am and accept those things that I can't change. So just give yourself this little pep talk. It does work. It takes time. I used to do it nearly every day. But after a while, I learned to accept and love those areas of myself that I didn't love before. So it's a work in progress. And with time, you will find it easier and easier. Another way, or another good idea, is to do an accepting the way I look chart. So all you have to do is in your journal or on a piece of paper, write a title which says accepting the way I look chart. And what we're going to do here is we're going to create a chart. And on this chart, we'll have 2 columns. So just divide the page in half or make 2 columns. Make one of the columns be called, the first column, for example, could be negative. And the second column could be called positive. Now, try, if you can, to stand in front of a large mirror, preferably one that is full length, but it doesn't have to be. And just spend maybe 10 minutes or so, maybe 10, 15 minutes, or even just 5 minutes, just studying yourself in the mirror. Study yourself. Really take a good, long, hard look at your reflection. In the negative column, write down all the things that you really just do not like about your appearance. At the moment, we're focusing on looks and appearance, so not focusing on personalities, it's just appearance and the way you look. So write down all the things in the negative column that you really just do not like about your appearance. After you've done this, then in the positive column, write down all the things that you do like about yourself. What do you like about your appearance? What are your favorite features? And what do you like? Write them all in the positive column. Now look back at the things in your negative column and read them out one by one. With each one, look in the mirror and study what it is that you do not like. For example, if you wrote down nose, then in the negative column, take a long, hard look at your nose. The following questions would be about your nose. So what I'm going to say in a minute. Once you have finished doing this process with your nose, then you can move on to the next thing on your list and just keep repeating the process. Focus on one of the things in your negative column, in your negative column that you do not like. And then ask yourself the following questions, which I'm about to let you know about that thing. And once you've really covered that particular thing, such as a nose, a legs, your eyes, whatever it is, then you can move on to the next thing that you wrote in your list. So the questions to ask yourself is, what is it that I do not like about, so we use nose for example, what is it that I do not like about my nose? Obviously you can put whatever it is that you don't like. How does my nose make me feel? Why do I feel the way I do about my nose? Is my nose really that bad? How can I learn to like my nose more? Is it possible for me to like my nose? Can I change my nose? What can I do to change the way I feel about my nose? So you just do this and then you move on to, once you've covered all that, you've been completely honest, then you move on to the next thing. You just keep looking at all these different angles, looking at these things and asking yourself, can you change it or can't you change it? And why don't you like it? Whatever it is that you don't like. And just work through the list. The things on your negative list, these are the things that you need to deal with. In other words, these are the things that you need to learn to either accept about yourself or change if you're able to change them. For example, if you do not like your teeth because they stick out too much, then try thinking on how you can change your negative feelings towards your teeth. How can you turn them into positives? So you could go to the dentist and ask them to help sort your teeth out. You could get braces and see what other help they can offer. Or you can accept that this is how your teeth are. Accept that your teeth are a part of you. They are what makes you your unique self. No one else seems to be complaining about them. And that this is something you need to accept about yourself. Or if you can change it, then are you going to change it? So these are what you need to really look at. Each time you think negatively about your teeth, try pushing away the negative thoughts that pop into your mind. and literally replace those negative thoughts with positive thoughts. Tell yourself to stop being silly. This is your teeth. Yes, they stick out, but they have done your whole life. You've had this the whole of your life. Remind yourself that your family, your partner, your children, your friends, your loved ones, they love you. They love you just the way they are, even with your sticky out teeth. They love you. They accept you for who you are. Another example of this is to, for example, say you look in the mirror and you think that you've put on some weight. And you're like, oh no, I've put on weight. I do not like the size of my waistline. Oh, I feel awful. This clothes doesn't fit anymore. Instead of feeling negative inside and running yourself down because of the extra weight you've put on, tell yourself to stop and then try and think of positive things. Try and think of how you can change your negative thoughts about your weight into positive thoughts. You could tell yourself, well, I have two options. I could either do something positive about my weight by doing exercises, going on a diet, going to the gym, working out, changing my diet perhaps, or I can accept that this is who I am and know that my loved ones love and accept me just as I am. Most times we can sort things out that we truly don't like and things that bug and annoy us about ourselves. There usually is a solution. There are always options or things we can do, like dieting, going to the dentist, to help make us like ourselves more. But at other times, there are also things that we can't change, things that we have to accept because they are unchangeable. It's these things that we need to learn to love and accept about us, because they're the things we can't change. They're just unchangeable, so we have to accept them. And when you learn to accept them, then you learn to accept yourself more. And one day you'll look at those things that you really did not like about yourself, that really bugged you, and you'll think, wow, they're not actually that bad. You'll learn to like them. You might even find them quite quirky. An example is, imagine that you do not like your ears, as they're too big or too small. You cannot change the size of your ears. So this is where you need to learn to love and accept them for how they are. Your ears may be not really your cup of tea, may not be what you like, but your partner's not complaining, or your family members don't complain, and you've had it your whole life. Your loved ones, they all love you unconditionally. They love you just the way you are. They accept you for who you are. So keep reminding yourself of that. If others have accepted you for who you are and the way you are, then you can too. You can definitely love and accept yourself for who you are and the way you are. Each time you have sorted out and dealt with something on your negative list, tick it off. Tick it off. Only tick those negative things off once you've had either fixed them, changed them, or accepted them. So even if it takes you months and months before you tick anything off your list, or it could take you quick, it could take you a day, a week, a month, a year, don't tick them off until you have either fixed them, changed them, or accepted them. Then you can tick it off and add them to the positive list. So you tick it off or cross it out on the negative list and then put it onto the positive list. It may take you days, weeks, months, like I say, or even years to do this exercise. But once you've done it, and if you consistently work on each area that needs working on, then one day you'll look back and you'll see that your negative list is completely empty and your positive list would have grown. You will find that all those things you used to hate or dislike about your appearance now do not seem so bad. They have either been fixed or accepted. You will learn to like your appearance so much more and accept who you are. You'll make you feel more confident in yourself. You'll feel better in yourself. Each time you add one of your negatives to the positive lists, then congratulate yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. Say, well done. I've worked really hard to get to this far. I've really worked hard. Acknowledge your achievement, because this is an achievement, and really give yourself a good pat on the back and say, well done. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of what I achieved. Maybe treat yourself to help you feel good. Turning that negative into a positive is a massive step. It's a huge step, and you should be proud of yourself for doing it. So we've worked on trying to love and accept our appearance for the way it is. And we're going to do the exact same thing, exactly the same, but this time for our personalities. So on a different piece of paper or in your journal, you can write a title that says Love and Accept Your Personality Chart. Because it's not just our appearance that we need to learn to accept, but also our personalities. Each and every one of us has a unique personality that makes us the people that we are. Our personalities are what makes us stand out from the crowd and what gives us our sense of identity, really. We need to learn to love our personalities, as these are our identity cards. Our personalities and our funny little quirks and traits, they are what makes us unique and makes us stand out. Again, please make 2 columns. One is your negatives column and the other is a positive column. And then do exactly as we did in the previous exercise. The same thing. Write all the things in the negative column that you do not like about your personality, and all the things in the positive column that you do like. So in the negative column, just write down all the things that you really do not like about your personality, things that people say annoy them about you, or the things that you feel annoy others, things that annoy yourself. Just write all of that down. And in the positive column, write down all the positive things about yourself. Write down your good qualities, your strengths, what others love about you. And write down the things that you are good at, like the way you look, exercise. Do exactly the same thing. And then just work on the negatives first. Start at the top and work through each one at your own pace and at your own time, even if it takes you weeks or months just to get through one of the things. Just work through it at your own pace. Work out, is it something that you can change and fix, whatever it is that you do not like? Or is it something that you need to just accept that this is a part of who you are? So can you change it? If so, how can you change it? What can you do? And if you can't change it, then you'll have to try and accept it. Or can you accept it, that this is a part of who you are? So it's exactly the same as before. And every time you've dealt with something, whether it takes you months, a year, weeks, days, once you've completely either accepted, fixed, or changed whatever it is on your negative list, then move it to the positive list. Do not move it to the positive list until you've really dealt with it, worked on it, and have either accepted or changed or fixed it. And then put on the positive list. And when you get to the end of it and there's nothing left on that negative list, it's all been moved over to the positive list, then give yourself a good pat on the back. Remember to acknowledge your achievements, acknowledge how far you're coming, and really say well done to yourself. Say, I'm proud of myself. This was not an easy task. It took a long time, but I did it. I achieved it, and I never gave up on it. So definitely acknowledge your achievements and be proud of yourself, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. This whole course is quite deep and in-depth work. So definitely be proud of that you've stuck it out and you're doing it. And it's an achievement in itself. It really is. You can also, as I say, with the accepting how you look chart, do exactly the same questions, like asking yourself, with the negativities, things you don't like about your personality, just ask yourself, why do I not like whatever it is that you do not like? What is it about this thing that I do not like? Can I ever learn to like it? Can I change or not? What can I do to change? What can I do to change how I feel about it? How does whatever this is make me feel? And why do I feel the way I do about this? So those are some questions you can just chuck in there while you're trying to work through each of the things on your negative list. but it is so important to congratulate yourself and to recognize those achievements. So next we'll look at just enjoying being you. Yes, we've done it. We've done it. We've got through all the nitty-gritty hard stuff. Give yourself a good pat on the back. Well done. You've really done well. So for those of you who are still watching, you're still here, well done. You've made it through the hard, nitty-gritty, self-healing stuff. So that's a real achievement, and you should definitely feel proud of yourself for that. Now we move on to the fun stuff. As I said, I keep to my word, there is some fun stuff, and here we're about to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is start enjoying being ourselves. So we're going to look at enjoying being you, who you are, and just enjoy living in the moment, enjoy your life. It is so important to learn to enjoy being yourself. In our very, very busy lives, we forget to just enjoy ourselves. We forget to live in the moment and enjoy life, embrace life and all the blessings and the gifts that life has to offer. When we forget to just enjoy things that really matter to us. We have so many commitments to others, to life, to work, that we neglect our own needs. We rush about day in and day out, sorting out this, sorting out that, doing school runs, doing dog walks, going to work, and dealing with life issues, that we just do not take the time to stop, this time to enjoy life and to live our lives and to live in the moment. So the following exercises I'm going to share with you, they are fun. They will help to not only help you to enjoy life a bit more and enjoy being yourself, but it'll help to get you more in an abundant mindset. They'll help you to build your self-confidence and your self-esteem, help to raise your vibration, help you to be more your true, authentic self, help you to learn to love yourself more and to accept who you are, and they also help you to heal. So these next few exercises are fun, and they help cover so many different areas in your life. They're going to really help so much. And most importantly, they'll help you to learn to accept who you are as an individual person and love that unique, quirky person that is you. By accepting who we are beginning an extremely important journey, a journey of self-healing and a journey of self-discovery. We unlock hidden gifts and talents, and we grow spiritually at a faster rate. It also helps to better our relationships, our connections with others and with ourselves. It just helps your whole life as a whole, and it puts you way up there in an abundant mindset. So, the first exercise is spoil yourself. Great, everyone likes to spoil themselves, so this is going to be a good one. Try treating and spoiling yourself. Not all the time, of course, but maybe spend a week. I usually say to people, spend a week where that week is your week to spoil and treat yourself. This is so important. It really is. So many times throughout our lives, we are so busy caring for others, working and getting on with our day-to-day lives, that we forget to just take care of ourselves and to spoil ourselves. We are important too. And this is something that you need to try and remember, is that you are important too. And you deserve to be treated and spoiled too. So these next set of exercises will really help you to be able just to treat yourself more and to help you feel better about who you are. So why don't you spend a week where you spoil yourself, you treat yourself. You could shop till you drop. Maybe treat yourself to a day out shopping. You can go either by yourself or with some friends. Make this a fun shopping trip, or shopping trip with a difference. You could try go somewhere where you've never gone before, a different shop that you've never been to, maybe in a new town. Maybe even do a day trip where you hop on the bus and you travel from one town to the next, stop at one town, have a cake, a tea, do some shopping, and then go to and visit another town and just do like a little town hop. that's just something fun, an idea you could do, exploring new areas and having fun shopping trips as you go along. So that's usually, I find, quite a fun thing. Maybe treat yourself to some new clothing or makeup or shoes, something that you've always wanted to get, and try not to feel guilty. Sometimes I know some of us don't like to spend money on ourselves or treat ourselves, so just tell yourself, if you feel guilty, say, no, this is important. This is part of my healing journey. I'm doing this for me. I've worked hard to get this far, and I deserve it. I deserve to treat myself sometimes. So just tell yourself it's okay. It's okay to spoil yourself too. You are important too. This is what's so important, is we're so used to giving to others, helping others, doing stuff for others, and we neglect ourselves. So what you're doing here, from spoiling yourself, you're treating yourself. You're letting yourself know that you are important too. You matter too. And that you're worthy. You're deserving of good things too. You could have a nice, long, luxurious bubble bath. That could be a way of spoiling yourself, because it doesn't have to be just shopping or buying things. You can spoil yourself in so many different ways. Like having a nice long soak in the bath. Really put the bubbles, the candles, maybe light some incense, have some soft music, and just lap up the moment. You could even read a book in the bath. Think of other ways that would be really treating yourself. What would you consider? What would your personal thing be as a special treat? What would really be spoiling you? Maybe having a glass of wine. If you don't have any wine, then maybe treat yourself to a bottle of wine. Just treat yourself, spoil yourself. Have your favorite meal. Eat out one night at a restaurant if you're used to always cooking. Give yourself a break. Spoil yourself. Think outside the box, and don't feel guilty for doing these nice things for you, because what you're doing there is, the guilt is just something that needs to be worked through. So if the guilty feelings do come, ask yourself why you're feeling guilty, work through those feelings, and keep telling yourself that you deserve to be spoiled and treated too, because you're important, you matter. Do something different. Try doing something different, and that is new, or that you've never done before. You could do something different to your appearance, if that makes you feel more beautiful or more handsome or good inside. You're already beautiful, you're already handsome, but it's always nice to treat ourselves and do something different. You could have your hair colored or cut, maybe try out a different hairstyle, or you could buy yourself a nice new outfit, new shoes. If you're a woman, then you could get your nails and your hair done or your makeup done by a beautician. Have a spa pamper day. That's always a good one. It is a proven fact that when women wear makeup, it just heightens our self-confidence. It just makes you feel good inside. You could even give yourself a full makeover and manicure. If you're a man, then you could maybe try growing a goatee or a beard, or get a tattoo. You could even try wearing different types of clothing to the ones that you usually use. Try joining the gym, as this can help you feel better in yourself, whether you're male or female. And maybe try and change your diet up, become more healthy, do keep fit. You could visit a place that you've never been to before. Do an activity that you've always wanted to do, but you've never done it. Maybe you didn't have the confidence before to do it, or you felt afraid. But now just maybe tackle that and say, I'm going to do it. Maybe go for a walk or drive somewhere different. On your way to school, work, your usual route you always walk, maybe try and walk a different way or drive a different way. Just shake things up, do things differently, and just notice how good that makes you feel. Sometimes just changing a little thing in our lives or doing something differently, shaking up the routine, it just can make such a massive difference. You can really notice the difference. Next is dance. Maybe spend 15 or 20 minutes a day dancing to some of your most favorite music. Longer if you like. Do it as long as you like. Just put on your favorite CD or your favorite song and dance. Just dance. If you feel conscious, you could do it like when you're on your own at home. Just put this music on and just let yourself go. Just feel the music. feel the music, enjoy the experience, just be silly. Even if you can't dance to save your life, just flap your arms around and just have a laugh. This is a good way for you to laugh, to just let your hair down, just feel the music and just have fun. Just enjoy the moment, enjoy the experience. Explore, get out and about more and visit places you've not been to before, or go for long walks down different roads. Explore new areas and new surroundings. You could do this on your own or with a friend. Whatever you feel most comfortable doing, just try and explore new places. Surround yourself with different surroundings. And it'll be amazing the impact and the difference in yourself, how they'll make you feel. Just shaking things up in your life a bit and making little changes. Me time. It's so important for us to take out time for ourselves each day, even if it's just 15, 20 minutes a day. Try and make a little time each day for you when you answer to no one. You just relax, you de-stress, you have quiet time on your own to reflect, to do whatever it is that you want to do, even if it's just 15, 20 minutes a day. Have a luxurious bath, put on some music, do some meditation. Just do the things that you enjoy doing and make it your special time. You can do it. Think of something that you've always wanted to do. Something within reason, of course. And then do it. Do everything in your power to make sure you have that opportunity to do it. For example, you've always wanted to go ice skating, but you've never got the chance. Now is the time to do it. Or you've always wanted to try eating shrimp, but you've never done it. You've never tried it. So go out and order yourself some shrimp. Do the things that you've always wanted to do that you've never done before. Even if it's something small. Something as small as like eating shrimp or eating something you've never eaten before. You'll see the difference it'll make in yourself. Thought process. Each time you think something negative about yourself, someone else, or something in your daily life, tell yourself to stop and then instantly try to replace that negative thought with a positive one. Because what you're doing here is you're retraining your thought process. You're retraining your mind to dismiss drama, dismiss negativity, and to replace it with something positive and upbeat. So every time you think something negatively, either about yourself, about your life, about someone else, then just tell yourself, stop. As soon as you acknowledge that negative thought in your mind, instantly tell yourself, stop. And then try to replace that negative thought with a positive one. Think of something positive. For example, imagine you're walking down the street and you see a person that you really do not like. You think, oh, the first thing that would automatically pop into your mind is, oh no, not her or him again. And you just get that negative feeling. What you need to do then, as soon as you acknowledge that you're doing it, tell yourself right there, stop. Tell yourself, no, I will not think in that way. Then try thinking of something positive, either about that person or just something positive in general. So you could think, okay, so I don't like him or her. They can be a bit stuck up sometimes. They're just not my type of person. But everyone has faults. Everyone has faults. Maybe deep down they're actually a nice person. Maybe they just portray themselves to the world the way they do because they could have a lot on their plate at this time. Or anything. Just try and change your thought basically from a negative thought to a positive thought. Or if you really cannot think of anything positive to think about that person, then just think of something completely different. You could see that person and then you acknowledge that you're having a negative thought and then try and think of something else like, oh, I've got a holiday booked soon. I can't wait to do that. I'm really looking forward to that. Or think, oh, I'm really pleased with what my daughter or my son did today. That was so good. Just try and bring your attention away from the negative thought. Replace it with something positive, whether it's positive about that person, that situation, or whether it's something completely different. Just try and remove the negative thoughts. And this is retraining your mind to think a lot more positively. Another example is you're packing away the clean dishes after you've done the dishes, and you accidentally drop one of the plates onto the floor. You scold yourself, telling yourself how clumsy you are. You feel angry with yourself for dropping the plate and start putting yourself down. Instantly, as soon as you notice you're doing that, stop right there and tell yourself, no, it was an accident and this could have happened to anyone. Yes, I broke a plate, but it's not the end of the world. It really is not the end of the world. It's one plate. What is done is done. There's no point crying over spilt milk. So yeah, I'm human. I'm just like anyone else. So you try and replace that negative thought with a positive one. A final example is you wake up in the morning, you draw back the curtains to see that the weather outside is just frightful. It's frightful. The wind is blowing a gale and it's raining hard, and you let out a loud, loud moan. You had planned to take the kids to the park for the day and you start complaining to yourself. You're cursing. The weather's annoyed you. It's screwed up all your plans. Your day are ruined. Everything you had planned to do is ruined and you're just feeling frustrated because of the weather. Again, as soon as you acknowledge this, tell yourself, stop. No, I will not think negatively. Yes, it is pouring with rain. That's a fact. It's pouring with rain. And yes, the wind is so strong, it might just blow down a tree or two. And yes, my plans are ruined. But I need to just make the best of it. Let's see, I could do baking and arts with the kids instead. Yeah, they like arts and crafts. I can't remember the last time I actually did art and crafts with them. We could bake some cakes. Yeah, we could do some painting. They'd really enjoy that. I'll still be spending quality time with them. It's not the park like originally planned, but it's still something fun. So it's not the end of the world. So what you're doing there, again, is you're instantly telling yourself to stop as soon as you're acknowledging that you're thinking negatively of yourself, of others, of a situation. You're telling yourself, no, stop, no. And then you replace it with a positive thought. You may find it hard at first to learn to change your thought pattern, because you've got to remember our thought patterns are ingrained. It's something we've had for years and years, some of us the whole of our lives. So to change that thought pattern, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take persistence. It's going to take time. It's going to have a lot of persistence, and it's going to take a lot of patience and practice. But with patience, with practice, you will find that it all starts to become more naturally for you. And you will find, before you know it, that you'll be thinking more positively without even having to think about it. You'll just look back one day and think, wow, I can't remember the last time I actually had a negative thought. And I'm feeling so much better in myself for it. And just from having this change in your thought pattern, you will notice a difference in all areas of your life. Your relationships will improve. You'll feel better in yourself. Your confidence will improve. You'll start feeling happier with who you are as a person. You'll start loving yourself more, loving your life more. It'll just have like a ripple effect on all areas of your life just from changing your thought pattern. Other ways to help draw positive energies into your life and just to help you feel better is to have a life plan, to have structure in your life and goals that keep you motivated and leave you with something good to look forward to in life. So this next exercise is designed to help you keep positive and help you get more structure and balance in your life, and just to help make life a bit more fun and exciting. So we're going to be creating a life list, and I'll show you how to do that. So all you need is a piece of paper and a pen or your journal, and on the page just write your name and life list. So if it was me, I would write Natasha's life list. So you write your name and life list in bold letters. And then underneath, list all the things that you've always wanted to do. What's the things that you've dreamed of doing while you're on this planet, in this lifetime? The things you'd love to do before your time on earth is done. Those dreams, those goals, those things are important to you, your wishes, write them all down. Now look at these goals and these dreams and these wishes and ask yourself, are they achievable? Is it something that you can actually achieve and do? If so, how? How can you achieve it? So, for example, on your list you've written, I'd love to go to South Africa. South Africa is one of my dreams. It's something I really want to do. So is that achievable? Is it something that you can do? Yes. Yes, it is achievable. It is something that I can do. How can you do it? Well, you can save up. You may need to save money. Once you've saved money, you can do research, look at what hotels they have over there, look at flight costs. How much would it cost you for a flight over there? How much would it cost the whole trip all the way around? Where could you go? And so look at everything. You're breaking it down. Is it achievable? What do you need to do in order to make that goal a dream, a reality? How can you make it a reality? And break it into steps. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to save. Could be another one. You've always wanted to move home, or you always wanted to own your own property. And so is it achievable? Can you own your own property one day? How can you do it? What's the steps that you need to take in order to make that dream a reality? So you're looking deep into it and you're building this life list of all the things you want to do. And then choose one of the things on your life list, the one that's most important, or you could choose the one that's the most easiest to achieve first of all. Say, well, that one's the one that's I'm most likely to achieve. And then with that one, all you have to do is start working on it. Start planning. Make that your project that you're going to be planning and working on. Right. Out of the 5 things I've written down on my list, this one over here, traveling to South Africa, that is the one that is the most achievable, the one I know I can do quickly and easily. So that's the one I'm going to focus on first. And then you start putting plans into place. Start booking flights or looking up flight costs. How much would it cost? Looking at the area in South Africa that you would like to visit. Looking at hotel costs. Work out how much will it cost you to go and visit South Africa. Looking at dates of when you can go. How much would you need to save? Okay, I need to save so much money. So how am I going to save? Start putting money away. So right, every month I'm going to put £5 away, £20 away towards that dream of mine. And you keep working towards it. Make it a fun project, something that you're working towards to achieve. And once you've achieved it and you've actually done it, tick it off and say, yes, I did it. I achieved that thing on my life list. What's the next thing that's the next thing that can be quite achievable on my list? Okay, that one. So now I've achieved the South Africa one. I've ticked that off. Now I can start working on this next one. And you work your way through till you've ticked everything off on your life list. This just gives you something to be motivated about, something to be excited about, something to work towards, and something to plan. It could even be decorating your whole home. That could be something you've always wanted to do. You could have lived in a home for years and years, and you've always wanted to decorate this home, and you've never got the chance to. So, yeah, that could be on your list, because it doesn't have to be a life list. You could do a life list for things like big things, like traveling the world or going on Britain's Got Talent, all those things that you want to do in your lifetime. But you could also do a yearly list. So you can look at the year ahead and say, well, in the next year, what are the things I'm going to add on my year list? This year, I'd like to get my home decorated. This year, I'd like to get my driver's license, or I'd like to take up driving lessons. This year, I'd like to go back to college. Is it achievable? Can I do it? If it is achievable, how can I do it? What steps do I need to take to make that happen? Right, do I need to start saving? How much do I need to save? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? And then actually go out there and do it. Start doing the things, the preparation work, so that you can achieve that goal. So you can make a yearly list, a life list, even a monthly list if you want to break it down to even smaller things. This month, I'm determined that by the end of this month, I would have rearranged my lounge. I would have washed all the sofa covers. I would have gone and visited that friend of mine that I keep putting off going to see. I keep meaning to, but things keep happening. So you can really break it down to week, month, year, life lists. Create these lists and work on one thing at a time, one goal at a time. Because you're trying to do too many at once, it's just going to not work. It's like trying to do 110 things at once. You can't put all your energy into every single one. You'll have to just dip your energy, a little bit of my energy here, a little bit of my energy there, and then you can't fully give your energy to anything. So choose one thing at a time. Say, right, I'm going to be working on this one thing, and once I've accomplished that, then I'll move on to the next. So all your focus, your energy, your time can go into that one thing. And this is giving you something to be worked towards and something to be motivated and excited about. Right, next we'll be looking at overcoming our fears. In order to change our lives for the better, we need to learn the art of releasing fears. Our fears are actual blocks that stop us from moving forward. And do you know that the only person that can help you overcome your fears is you? No one else can do this for you. This really is a solo thing. I can help you and I can guide you and I can show you different techniques, but it's you taking the bull by the horn and really facing these fears that will make the biggest difference of all. So I'm going to share with you some exercises that really help in helping you to face your fears and overcome them. And a very good one to start with is comfort zones. Because the most effective way of overcoming fears is to face them head on. And that's exactly what coming out of your comfort zone does. By coming out of your comfort zone, you're facing your fears head on and having to deal with them and tackle them. And the more you do this, the easier you'll find it. This is why this next exercise is a perfect start for overcoming fears. Coming out of our comfort zone helps us to build strength and courage. It helps us to face our fears in life. It's taking that first step in overcoming our fears. Try doing something that takes you out of your comfort zone. We all hide in our comfort zones. Could be because we're just too afraid to venture out. Or for one reason or the other, we hide behind these comfort zones. Once we do learn to overcome our fears, learn to come out of our comfort zone, it really does do a big boost to our self-confidence. It really does. I've met so many people, including myself, including me, who have had so many big dreams and things they've always wanted to do, things they've dreamt about, new opportunities they wanted to take. But because of fear and the fear of coming out of their comfort zones, they never took those opportunities. Those fears stopped them. And then years later, they look back. Even I have some things that I regret. Look back and you think, oh, if only I'd come out of my comfort zone. If only I didn't let fear control me. If only I took that leap of faith. If only I did this. And you're left with remorse and regret. So fear is a horrible thing. It stops us from achieving so much in our life. It stops us from experiencing happiness. It stops us from achieving goals. And that's why coming out of our comfort zone is so important, because that's facing that fear head on. It's tackling it head on. And the more you do it, the more you come out of your comfort zone, the more you face those fears and you do it anyway, the easier it will become. And one day you'll look back and you'll think, wow, this is just easy now. What was I ever scared of in the first place? So try and think of things that really involve you having to come out of your comfort zone. What are things that you've always wanted to do, but you're not doing it because you're afraid, because there's fear behind it, or it involves you having to step out of your comfort zone? Try and think of these things and then try and do it. Face those fears. A good example of how fear can stop us from having good opportunities or being recognized for achievements is, imagine that you're a member of an organization. You're all in a meeting and you're sharing your ideas on an event that you're planning. You're a naturally shy person who does not like being the center of attention. You have some great ideas, some really good ideas, and you're dying to share these ideas with the room. But because your confidence is low, or you just feel shy, and it involves you coming out of your comfort zone, you sit back. You don't open your mouth. You're too afraid to speak up, even though you know your ideas would be brilliant. So instead of voicing your opinions and your ideas to the room, to the group, you tell the person sitting next to you what you think this is a good idea. only for that person sitting next to you to stand up and share your idea at the whole room. Everyone praises this person. They say, well done, that's a fantastic idea. It's brilliant. And this person gets all the praise for your idea. This just knocks your confidence. It really knocks you back. You feel angry with yourself. You feel disappointed with yourself. You feel upset with the person because this person's taken your idea. They've got all the credit. And you just think to yourself, if only I was brave enough, if only I faced my fears, if only I stepped out of my comfort zone and stood up there and shared my idea, then I would be getting the praise right now. My confidence would be boosted. I would be feeling really good. Instead, I'm sitting here feeling horrible. I'm feeling let down in myself. And that idea has been taken by someone else. So you see how it can have such a negative effect and how you can miss out on opportunities, miss out on achievements. So coming out of your comfort zone is a biggie. It really is. Try practicing coming out of your comfort zone as much as you can. Find situations that take you out of your comfort zone. The more you do it, the easier it will come. The more you face your fears, the less scary they will be. And eventually, before you know it, you will be confident. Your confidence would have boosted right up just from you facing those fears. And you will be achieving so much more in your life. You'll be doing so much more. You'll be standing tall and taking charge of your life. You'll not let those fears take charge of you. You will take charge of your fears. We'll now work through a few coming out of your comfort zone questions. Like with the whole rest of this course, all you have to do is write these questions down and then work through each one at a pace that best suits you. Take your time working through them and be completely open and honest with yourself. That's the best way of actually healing and tackling these fears. So the first question is, what takes you out of your comfort zone? Think seriously about what actually takes you out of your comfort zone and write everything down. Even if there's 5, 10 things that take you out of your comfort zone, write each one down. And write down how it affects you. How does each one affect you? Really acknowledge it. What is it about coming out of your comfort zone that frightens you so much? Think carefully about this and why it scares you. How does coming out of your comfort zone make you feel? Describe all the symptoms you feel with each one. Where do you think your fear of this stems from? Try thinking right back to as far as you can from childhood or when you first ever noticed you had these fears. Where do these fears stem from and what causes them? What do you think will happen if you come out of your comfort zone? Share your fears of what you think might happen. Now think honestly about what you wrote. Why do you think whatever it is going to happen will happen? Are your fears reasonable? And what would really happen? Be honest with yourself. If what you fear happened, then how would you cope? How would you deal with it? What are you going to do to overcome your fears of coming out of your comfort zone? Remember that in order to overcome our fears, we need to take action and face our phobias and our fears head on. Write down what you will do to face these fears and overcome them once and for all. Then give it a go. Actually go and do what you wrote down, what you're going to do. Give it a try. Once you have done all that you have written down and you've tried these all and you've answered these questions, then write down how you feel now that you've tackled these fears. So for example, you wrote down what one of your phobias or your fears is of coming out of your comfort zone. You wrote down why it scares you, how you're going to tackle it, what are you going to do to tackle that fear. Then you go and you actually give it a go. You go and try out what you said you're going to do. And then you can write down how you feel now that you've tackled it, now that you've done what you said you were going to do. How did you feel? I understand that this exercise may take long. It could take you long to do each one. Don't rush the process, but just take your time and do not feel disheartened if it takes a while for you to do this. Just keep practicing. And every time, if what you wrote down that you're going to do to tackle one particular fear, If that doesn't work, then try something else. What's your plan B? What's your plan C? Go and give that a go. Write down how it went. It's almost like you're trying little experiments. We'll look at overcoming phobias next. Each and every living person has a phobia. Phobias and fears haunt and taunt us. Thankfully, we are all able to overcome our phobias, or at least minimize them to a lower fear threshold. What we have to learn is to identify what our phobias are. What is it that makes us feel fear in connection with whatever our phobia is, and how to eliminate these fears? We need to concentrate on the actual positives in connection with the phobia and not the negatives. So like we did with the coming out of our comfort zone, we're just going to work through all those same questions. So all the questions you asked for coming out of your comfort zone, ask those same questions, but this time it's facing and overcoming your phobias. Ask yourself the exact same questions and also work out how you are going to tackle these phobias. What are you going to do? Then you're going to do a little experiment, exactly as you did with the coming out of your comfort zone. Try and do what it is you said you're going to do to tackle this phobia. If it works, great. Write down how you found it. If it doesn't work, what's your plan B? Your plan C? Give all these different things a go and a try. Each time writing down how you found it and how you feel. And hopefully from doing this, you'll tackle all these phobias. It will take time. It's not going to happen overnight. So just persevere with it. And you will do it. You will tackle your phobias. And you can use the same process with all the different fears you have. Abandonment issues and fears. Fears of losing loved ones. Fears of death. Fears of travel. Worries and concerns. Because worries are actually a form of fear. You can work through your worries exactly in the same process. Ask yourself questions about each worry. Where does this worry stem from? When did you first notice that you had this worry or this stress or this concern or this anxiety? What do you think the root cause of it is? What can you do to tackle this worry, to overcome this stress, this worry, this anxiety? Try and experiment. It's the exact same process. Make a little experiment. Say, well, I can do this. Then go out there and give it a try. See how it goes. If it works, write it down. Write down what you did and how you felt. If it doesn't work, try step B, step C. Try different things until you find something that does work, that does help to eliminate these fears, these anxieties, these worries, these phobias. It's a work in progress, and spend as much time as you need on each one. We now got to the end of the second part of this course. This course has actually ended up being so much longer than I expected it to be. We've still got so much more to cover, and because I can only record a certain amount of time, and then the video becomes too long, so I won't be able to upload it. So I have to end the video now. But there's still another, quite a big chunk that we still got to get through. So because of this, I will be doing this course in 3 parts, which I really did not want to have to do. Yes, I really hope to get this all in one video, but it's ended up being 2, and now it's definitely going to be a 3rd video. But the thing is, it's worth it because this is such an important course. I know it's big. I know we've covered so much ground. But in order to really change our mindset and to change our lives for the better, we had to tackle everything that we've tackled in this. It really is a vast, vast amount of stuff. And like they say, if you want a job done, you've got to do it properly. So I don't want to miss corners. I want to do this properly. I want to help you to the best of my ability. And in order to do that, we have to cover all of this stuff. So I will be making a part 3 of this course. We will continue to look at worries because we need to look at that in a much more detail. It's a lot more in depth. So in part 3, we'll be tackling more on overcoming worries and anxieties and stress. We'll also look at how to create a deserving mindset and how to change that mindset, how to start manifesting the life you want. We'll be also looking at different manifestation techniques, also looking at your current life and your desired life, and where you can make changes so that you can change your life from where you are now into the life that you want to create. So it's going to be very in-depth, and we'll be covering a lot of other stuff. It's going to be very in-depth, but it's worth it. It's worth it. This time, this effort, this energy is all going to be worth it when at the end of this, you can create the life that you deserve, the life that is right for you. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in part 3, which should be good fun. It should be good fun. Have a lovely evening or morning or afternoon, wherever you are, and thank you again. Bye.